Hello and welcome back to Justin Talks Villa. This is a little bit of an intro into this video today. Thanks for all your support so far, it's been absolutely magnificent. Drop this video a like and subscribe to the channel. So today I will be putting this video out where I went to speak to Tony Morley, Nigel Spink and Peter Withe about their new venture, whiskey. They have launched this brand new product and you won't want to miss it. I was given an exclusive access on the night when they were signing all the shirts that are going to go along with the whiskey, and it is celebrate the legendary night in Rotterdam in 1982. So Peter Withe, Tony Morley and Nigel Spink, the heroes who brought the European Cup home, are launching this limited edition whiskey product honouring that night. The whiskey costs £199. It comes with a bespoke presentation box. It also includes a signed shirt from all three of the guys. It is the perfect piece of memorabilia for all Villa fans. To purchase your bottle, here it is. Just head to the link in the description underneath. I was really pleased and privileged to be invited across to talk to the guys about this and their time at Villa. So the video basically is me talking to all three guys individually, and I also talked to Liam, who was in charge of creating the whiskey, about how that happened and the process of getting to this point. So yes, it's a fantastic item, and if you're a memorabilia collector like me, I'm in my bar here and it sits proudly in my bar. It will be a real great buy for you, or as a gift for somebody you love. So yes, head to the description below, enjoy the video. Thanks for all the support. Speak to you all soon. Up the Villa. Hello and welcome back to Justin Talks Villa, and I'm really pleased to say I'm here today with Aston Villa legend Nigel Spink. I've been invited today to the Forest Hotel in Dorwich because the lads are, as I spoke to Peter Withe in the last video about this whiskey that the lads have all been involved with, and today is the launch day where they've been signing the shirts and getting all ready for the launch of it. So I'm really pleased that Nigel's joined me for a quick chat about how he got involved in the whiskey and a couple of little stories about the European Cup. So how are you, Nigel?
I'm all right, just.
It's nice to see you.
Yeah, nice
to
see you, mate.
Yeah,
has been a while. Yeah. Since I moved away from Birmingham.
Yeah. Nigel's an old friend. We've crossed paths a few times, haven't we? So how did you get involved in this, Nigel?
Well, basically, I like whiskey.
Yeah.
So that's a good starting point. No, I got a phone call, and there's somebody that said they were interested, and would I be interested in getting involved in sort of the manufacture of this, and I said yeah.
Why not?
Why not, indeed.
And it's a lovely bottle as well.
It is a beautiful bottle, isn't it? Yeah, it's the first time I've seen it today, actually. First time I've seen the bottle. And I was a bit, concerned about how the label would look, but I think
you want it to look good, don't you, as well?
Yeah. I mean, claret and blue is a fantastic combination of colours, as we know. But, that could have been a little bit tackier, a little bit overbearing, and I think they've done a great job.
I think they've done a really nice job. Yeah. I spoke to Peter again the other day, like when I interviewed him, and we were talking about this, and I hadn't seen it then, but it's really nice. That the bottle's good, the box is lovely, the picture you get as well, and there's 180 limited edition shirts that are going out with the first 180 bottles, I do believe. And the lads, Tony Morley, Nigel Spink, and Peter Withe have all signed the shirts as well, so that's really good. But while I've got you, Nigel, I am going to talk to the guy who's manufactured the whiskey as well in a minute, so that'll be interesting to hear all about that. But while I've got you here, I've got to ask you about the European Cup, because obviously this is what it represents, doesn't it, and the history and what you went through. European Cup final, you're obviously remembered for coming off the bench, 9th minute, I do believe it was. You obviously wasn't expecting to come on in the 9th minute, because I think Jimmy Rimmer played basically every game that season, hadn't he?
Yeah, well, Jimmy, I'd been there 5 years since '77, and Jimmy came soon after I signed, which was great. It was great for my development to work with Jimmy Rimmer. He was just, Jimmy had knocks, bumps and bruises all through the 5 years, but I only played the one game, and that was in '79 against Forest on Boxing Day, when Jimmy had a problem with his foot and couldn't play, and Ron Saunders played me.
How did that game go?
We lost 2-1.
Right.
God bless him. Sure, he scored for us, and I think Tricky Trevor scored for Forest, and Stan Bowl scored as well. So
going back a bit now,
couple of names there. So it was a great event for me.
Yeah.
Obviously, getting a chance to play. But as I say, that was the only, in that 5-year spell, that was the only game I got involved in.
Because back in those days, an understudy keeper literally didn't ever play, did they?
No, I mean
you don't get rotation.
No,
like you get
not at all. And
no.
there's only one sub, so it's not like today where you have 34 subs. But there was only one sub, so invariably, back in those days, just as well, the old Central League, which was the reserve team league, we played on a Saturday afternoon as well. So you
got minutes. You played.
I got match football. And we had a very good reserve.
I was going to say that level was pretty good.
It was very good. Very
because
good.
of that, for that exact reason, because players weren't playing in the first team. There was limited amount of players. So quality players were having to play.
You're probably 7, 8 fringe players. That weren't involved with the first team would go and play for the reserves. The manager would want them to that was a big thing, getting game time. And it was so we had a good reserve team, and we'd go all over the country, and we played at the grounds then. So we'd play at Anfield, we'd play at Goodison, we'd play at Newcastle, at St James.
There was no playing at the training grounds then, like they do today.
No, not at all. You'd play at the ground, and that was an experience as well, because you could walk out before the game and the reserve game, and you could envisage
what it
being full when if you ever got to play for the first team.
So we'll get to the night of the European game. So you obviously went out and did maybe a little warm up, but you was probably just enjoying the night, enjoying the atmosphere, and thinking this is great. I'm going to enjoy this. No stress about not playing.
I say to Andy Blair, who was on the bench as well. From memory, I think we went out. We got changed quickly. We got to the ground and the kit was out, and we got changed quickly. We went out and spent what was practically an hour before the kickoff out and warming up, and they were firing shots in at me, and and warming me up, and it was just embracing the atmosphere, because we didn't think for a minute we'd get on, purely because there was only one sub in league football. Substitutions were only ever made for injuries.
How many substitutes were allowed in the European Cup?
5.
Oh, okay. So the fact that you had to go on so early didn't hamper other changes in the game?
No, and there wasn't another change in the game. So, there was because nobody was injured, and there was a couple that had cramp, I think, or were cramping up.
But they were right.
But they were right. They carried on, and there might be a slight tactical change on the field by a striker playing a bit deeper or whatever. But it didn't. You're crap. You're coming off. That didn't happen.
So 8 minutes, 9 minutes in, physio goes on. What happens? How do you realise that obviously that you're gonna have to go on?
Yeah, well, physio didn't actually go on to Jimmy. Jimmy had. The backstory is that Jimmy 2 weeks earlier had got a knock in a league game, and he was having treatment for it. But I think probably Tony Barton and Roy McLaren, Jimmy had knocks all the time, but played, and I think they thought he'll be fine, and it was all.
Do you think they knew before the game then?
I don't know, because I believe again that Jimmy might have had a jab to play. He might have had a painkilling injection to play. But then, having spoken to Jimmy, and we do lots of Q&As and stuff, and socially, and he knew, and it's a brave decision, He knew that he couldn't carry on, and he knew that he didn't want to let the lads down by carrying on. And,
in what I know he'd won a European Cup with Manchester United, but in what was a huge game for him.
Yeah, it was, you know, and what unfolded for me, Jimmy would have comfortably done as well. You know, there's not a problem with that.
It's very magnanimous of you, Nigel.
Well, no, that's the fact.
I think you played well though, didn't you?
Well, yeah, things went well for me. Yeah, they did go well for me.
Do you think it helped that you came on?
Yeah,
and you just
but
thought,
I've avoided it.
no time to think about
all
it.
the way down the line. I've gone. You know, I think that the fact that I didn't think I was going to go on, and Gary Newborn from ITV Sport nudged me in the ribs and said, "You're going on," and I went, "What? Why am I going on?" And he said, "Like Jimmy's."
You saw him hobbling off.
Yeah, Jimmy's saying he can't carry on, and you know, back in those, I was ready to go. I had my full kit strip on, just a sweatshirt.
Unlike they do today.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, take 15 minutes to get on.
Strapping the top.
Yeah, exactly. And sweatshirt off. Jimmy had gone to get his spare gloves out of the back of the car, and I was on. You know, I was running on, and then, you know, and again, just defining moments. One, I didn't have a clue what was going on, so my head was clear.
Yeah.
Two, I ran to the Villa supporters.
So and they welcome.
And they didn't have a clue who I was.
Really?
Well,
they must have known.
They've never seen me play.
No, but they must have known.
Well, they must have known a name. You know, the Statos would have known. He would have known of me. But they were, you know, thousands of them have said, you know, to this day they still say, "Who's that running?"
Oh Christ! Who's this?
Yeah. Oh, we're knackered now, that sort of thing. But they gave me a fantastic reception, and you know, it was one of those. It was either going to work or it wasn't, and luckily it worked.
It's the night the legend of Spink was born.
Well, there's only one way down from that.
I don't know, mate. You had a good career at the Villa, didn't you?
Yeah. I mean, I do Q&As and stuff around the Midlands and all over, and there's a core of lads that have played for Villa. You know, hundreds of them that have played for Villa over the years, and there's something about Villa. I was born in Essex.
Yeah.
I came here when I was 18. Played for 19 and a half years at the club. Loved every minute of it. Probably should have stayed for longer, but that's another story. And I something bites you about Villa.
Loads of ex-players have said this.
You don't just, you know, you're born and bred Villa like yourself. It's claret and blue blood.
Yeah.
But when you come and play, and you play for a decent length of time, and you have marginal or great success at the club, something bites you, and you want to keep coming back. And you know, match days now in the Premier League and in the European Cup, in the Champions League, I look forward to them because A, I'm going to the game, and B, it's what faces them from the past I'm going to see, because I like Brian Little, I spanned 3 decades at the club, so I've got a lot of friends like Tony and Peter from the 80s, going into the back end of the 80s when we came back up from the old second division, and then going into you know, the League Cup games at Wembley, and just some amazing friends and colleagues.
As I say, you've had an amazing career at Villa. Unfortunately, we've only got a few minutes with each of the players tonight, but Nigel's agreed to come back on the pod. I'm going to meet him somewhere at a later date, and we're going to have a proper long chat about everything. He's got some amazing stories. We're going to try and squeeze the shirt story in, but I don't think we're going to have time now, because we've got to get the other lads on, but we'll get that on the pod, so that's a little teaser for you. But Nigel, it's lovely to see you again. Thanks for doing it.
Good to see you, mate.
Up the Villa.
Yeah, up the Villa. Cheers.
Hi and welcome back, and now I am joined by Aston Villa legend, I can't quite believe he's sitting here to be honest, Tony Morley, the man who delivered on a plate. It was harder to miss, wasn't it, really? It was all down to you, wasn't it, that goal?
Of course it was. Of course it was.
But obviously we're here for the event, for the Spirit of Rotterdam 82, the whiskey that you're all involved with. How did you get involved in that?
Well, somebody just phoned me up one day, somebody asked me would I like to speak to them, they had a talk to me about it, and I thought, what a fantastic idea, especially the Spirit of 82, because if you look at it really, that's probably why we won it, because we had such a good bunch of lads, and the Spirit of 82 sounds fantastic, really. And I spoke to the people, and I thought, yeah, that's not a bad idea, we sell a few. It's good, and it's obviously, I'm not a whiskey man,
No.
but I believe it's a fantastic drink.
Yeah, we're
So-
going to talk to the guy in a minute
Yeah.
about the whiskey. And he said it's a real quality bit of tipple, but it's a lovely set, to be honest. You know, for the
It's
money,
fantastic,
you're getting a
yeah,
lovely
yeah.
bottle, a nice box. You guys are signing this shirt as well, so they get that
Well,
as well.
it's going to be one-off, isn't it, really? That.
Exactly, yeah.
You
And I tell
ain't
you what,
gonna get many.
what a better place to drink when we win the European Cup again in May? To knock
It's gonna
open
be
one of
that-
them.
It's going to be in May. It's going to be Bayern, isn't it?
That's it. Bayern, at Bayern.
Yeah.
Beat them again 1-0, and we'll all open a bottle of the Spirit of 82. How's that sound?
I think there'll be a few. If they get there, there'll be a few before that.
There will be a few, yeah. So
Yeah.
going back to 82, obviously momentous night for you guys, and it has, you know, it's just ridiculous what you did really with that small squad and that night against basically underdogs, weren't you?
Yeah, you can say that, you know, but we all. I think the lads knew that we had a good chance
Yeah.
of doing something because we won our league the year before, and the Champions League was, the European Cup was still the same trophy. Was in our league for 5-6 years, so we knew if we won our league, we were a decent side.
Yeah.
You know, we weren't a weak side. We won our league. It was, you know, and then we thought, well, nothing really to fear because we had. That was the best league in Europe at the time because we won the European Cup that many times the team. So we knew we were a decent side, and
But you had quality all over the pitch, didn't you?
Yeah,
There wasn't a weak link really in that team, was there?
I think basically what it was a great bunch of lads.
Yeah.
Can I put it? Team spirit.
Team spirit.
Just like that, team spirit. That's all it
100%.
was. You know, and we had a great bunch of lads, and it was we're all in it together. And if everybody ever talks about winning things as a team, you'll ask any professional, they'll say we had a good dressing room.
Yeah.
We had spirit. Keep going about that in the dressing room, and that's what Villa had at the time. They had a great bunch of lads there. We enjoyed going in. We enjoyed working together. But going back to the football thing, I thought we had always comfortable because we didn't concede many goals.
No.
And then we had Peter and Gary up front who was always going to snatch a
But
goal.
the spine of the team was good, wasn't it?
Yeah. Obviously Jimmy was
Yeah.
phenomenal. You know, unfortunately I got injured in the final and opened the door for Nigel. That's a different story.
Yeah.
But like Dennis, and Big Ken and Alan Evans, Dennis and Peter up front.
Yeah.
Every team who was successful always have that spine. They always say a spine, and you need that. So we always knew that we had a chance, you know, under Cough quite a lot. But you know, we had people who could sniff a goal and score a goal. But you've always got to give the defence credit, really.
Of course, yeah. Well, you knew if you could keep them out, that you had enough quality to at some
in the
point
last-
open them up.
Exactly.
Which is exactly what happened, really, wasn't it?
Exactly what happened. And I still look back to this day, and people say, "Oh, you're under the cosh." I don't think we were really. You know, I think under pressure, but I never felt, "Oh, this is wrong." I've watched European Cup finals since, and I've seen other teams get absolutely, and they come away and win it. You know, but so Villa were lucky. Or like when Liverpool won, but I know what a great team that was. Liverpool.
Well, you look at Liverpool the other week against Paris Saint-Germain. They got absolutely annihilated there, and they were 1-0. There's more than one way to win a game of football, isn't there?
Of course there is, yeah. But no, listen, we'll go back, and I'm thinking, you talk about it was a good bunch of lads, a great bunch of lads, very fortunate to play with the night, you know, we're still friends to this day, you know what I mean? I think
That shows on you doing this, doesn't it? You know, you still,
that speaks,
after all them years.
that speaks volumes for us all, like, you know. And St. John was, you know, we're all in our 50s, 60s, some coming up to, well, Peter and them over 70s, you know. So you need to have a come up and have a few beers and have a laugh, you know, I mean, it's good. But the football, you know, I didn't find it hard. I really did not find it hard. I just enjoyed it because to me it was a challenge. And
But that's a sign of somebody that's good at football, though, Tom.
Nah,
you didn't find it hard.
No,
Just natural.
it suited me better because it was when you played in the Champions League then, or just keep saying the Champions League, it was the European Cup. It was man-for-man market.
Yeah.
And I loved that.
You thrived on that.
I thrived that one for man, you know. When I was playing in the league at the time, they put two men on me, one cut the gun, and you couldn't get involved. And it was, but in Europe they say, right, it was a different type, mark him, and I just loved that. And I just loved that attention, I should say, whatever you want. And it was just, to me, it was just an adventure, the European Cup. And how can I was like a kid. I was like a kid. The first time you pull your shirt on, you play for your school team. I was going to be excited in this. It was no worry. It was a bit of an. You didn't know what to expect because all of a sudden you're in the the top, probably the top club competition in the world.
Easily, yeah.
And you didn't know what to expect. So we went in there, but I wasn't worried at all. We had a great bunch of lads. We win together, we lose together. Simple as that.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Hello, welcome back. I've spoke to a couple of the guys. Now I've got Liam from Legends Whiskey, who has basically got this to this point.
Indeed. I think really where we've got to with Legends Whiskey and the spirit of Rotterdam 82 was having a look at the development of any whiskey launch. Works very closely with the personalities behind it, and with the 3 personalities that we're working with on this project. I see it as a key area to actually get the product branded by them and have them involved in it, because they were so instrumental in what they were doing. The whiskey itself, Legends Whiskey, we work in the field of a number of different product categories with well-known individuals with backgrounds in the football and sporting world, and we felt then the spirit of 82 of Rotterdam, where Villa is, how they're developing.
It's perfect timing.
It's absolutely the perfect time for it to come out, which is what we see as an opportunity to work on the actual liquid and the label design. We had worked on closely with Nigel, Peter being...
Well, Nigel's just said how much he's really pleased with how it's come out, and it does look really nice. And like you say, to feed back into the guys from 82 and what they achieved, and to have it come out now on the cusp of the Villa going back into the quarterfinals of the Champions League this season, it couldn't have been timed any better, could it, really?
Yeah, and that's what we're seeing as the opportunity to have the fan base not just buy into the whiskey, with the box and the signed jersey as well with it, which is a very, very unique piece.
A piece of memorabilia. I mean, I'm a massive memorabilia collector. So to have something like this with what you get, the box is lovely. The guys have signed these shirts as well, so you get a signed shirt from all 3 of the guys. A nice little memento of the guys as well there. So the quality of the whiskey, you're really happy with how it's...
We have the casks that we selected. So any launch that we look at with any of the teams that we're involved with, we look at the actual liquid, where it comes from, if it's an Irish whiskey, if it's a Scotch whiskey. In this product
category...
Are you
personally involved in that? In
the actual process of picking it, selecting it, making sure the distillery is actually where we want it to be. This distillery is actually based in Scotland, in Dumfries, in Annandale. It's coming on 10 years old. The actual product is award-winning. It's worldwide distribution. It has really, really well recognised product. The liquid inside that is 46%, which is quite strong. So normally we would have a 40% liquid. But when we spoke to the guys...
You are dealing with footballers.
When I spoke to the guys, and we actually had...
Can we up it a bit? Can we up it a bit?
They were saying maybe we just bump it up maybe to the 50%. We says, no, 46. The 50 is a bit tight.
Can we get to 70%? Can we get that?
So the 46% is working well. The taste profile was really, really nice. It's nice and soft on the throat. And as any whiskey personality or anybody getting behind a whiskey profile, they always look at the strength of it and how they actually enjoy it as well, and how much they can drink comfortably in a glass or 2 glasses.
I think what's really important, Liam, is not only are you feeding into sort of a fan base and an idea of this, but you're not strimping on the quality of it either.
Absolutely not.
It's a good product as well. Standalone.
I think for us, it has to be, we have 3 ex-legends behind this. We have them making sure that their brand and their name is behind it, and we have to, it's my position to make sure that they actually have the best quality on the market. So the people that will buy it, that do open it, a lot of them won't, but a lot of people will open it up and taste it. They'll know, they'll give positive feedback on it. And we want to not just get this to a fan base as a collector's item.
No.
We want them to buy the liquid and enjoy the liquid as well. So there's 2 different options, on the purchasing of it. And Nigel was just out there a short time ago, so he's getting ready to pop the bottle open.
I bet he is, yeah. I need to get back in there before he does it. But I've just said to him, what better place or time to drink a bottle of this than when we win the European Cup again?
Absolutely.
In Munich against Bayern Munich again, 1-0. That would be fantastic.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's a lovely product, and it's really nice to meet you, Liam.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Justin.
Right, I'm back in a minute with Peter Withe. Hi, welcome back. I have now joined by my friend now, I'm going to say my friend Peter Withe.
His good friend.
His good friend Peter Withe. I feel like I spent all week with you this week, to be fair, but it's been lovely to get to know you, Peter. So obviously we are here. What do you think about the final project? Because when I spoke to you last time, you hadn't seen it.
No, I'm
it's nice,
looking at it now, and it's we're actually going to have a try of this.
Oh, right, okay.
In a minute, because we're going to crack a bottle open.
Fair.
they tell me that it's so. Yeah, I'm looking
Well, I've just
forward
had the
to
guy in. I've just been talking to Liam, and he's been assuring me that it is the finest quality whiskey, and it is 46 or 47%.
47%.
Which you guys asked for, apparently. So that's
normally
footballers
40.
for you. That's
It's
what he
normally
said.
40.
That's footballers for you. Can have it higher up. But yeah, it's lovely. As I said before, you get this lovely shirt signed by the guys, the bottle, lovely box as well that it's in. So they've done a cracking job. It's a lovely gift for anybody that would fancy it. But obviously I spoke to Peter at length the other day. That video is now up on YouTube, so please go and watch it. It's a really, really good chat. Honestly, it was brilliant. I've loved every minute of it. I've watched it back twice myself since, just to sit and watch it. I watched it with my wife last night, and she really loved it as well. So we're just going to have a couple of questions on the modern Villa. Obviously, we've got PSG coming up, which is going to be an incredibly difficult game. How do you see that one going over the two legs? How do you think Villa will attack the first leg, especially being away from home?
Yeah, I think-
Bearing in mind, that Liverpool